quite understood that, and I think this project has really shown me how strong we are together, right? When researchers and community members and artists and activists are in conversation, right? Et c'était vraiment une conversation de 8 ans. On a commencé en 2005. Bonjour. On a commencé en 2005 avec un projet de 40 personnes. Donc c'était un projet, we started with 40 people, which was a big project. We ended with 305 people. And what happened during the project, for those of you who don't know about the project, it was a project that was reflecting on the life stories of people who come from all around the world, who ended up here in Montreal, and who experienced mass violence sometime in their life, forced displacement, and then have Montreal in common. And I lost my train of thought. And so there was a family migration into the project. And so what often would happen was one person would join the project. So like Sandra Gassana joined the project, right? Her husband, Neil, where's Neil? Well, Neil joins the project. Her father, her 3 sisters get interviewed, right? And so you see family after family that get involved in this project. So the project wasn't just a research project. It wasn't even just a community memory project. It was a personal project for families and so on. I think it did all these things at the same time. And I think that was just such a wonderful experience. And I'm really not the same historian I was in 2005, and I just found such a privilege, I guess, right, to be in that conversation and to learn from so many, generous people, and yeah. And so the book is really about collaboration. It's about this conversation, right, and what we learn together. And young people in the project, often in academic research, young people join a project as students, working for their professor, right? But we had all these young people from the communities, right, from the Rwandan community, from the Cambodian community, who got involved as full researchers, as team leaders. Working group leaders were sometimes 25, 26 years old, right? Like Remy. Okay, well, like Remy's an example, or Paul, right? And so I think that even that intergenerational conversation, I think, was quite unique in this project. And so the book is really a reflection, my reflection, right, on this project. And I sometimes say to people, if this was the only outcome of the project, I'd feel really weird because my name's on it, and it's not my book in a way. It's the project's book. What gives me comfort is that for 7 years, I've been going to events and going to screenings and going to performances. So many people in the project were authors, right? Authored their own interpretations, right? Their own reflections, right? And so this is just a belated outcome of the project. And I think that's one more voice, perhaps, one more reflection among so many. And so I just want to thank you for each of you. And I want to ask David Ward, who David's a photographer, and he was an original member of the project, and he's a documentary photographer, and he had this idea that we could document our process in images. And the book has over 100 photographs, and I think it's quite remarkable to me that still photography can capture process, right? Movement. And to me, what that also does with this book is show, how many sort of linkages and conversations are occurring. So David, I just wanted to say a few words. Yeah.
Just really quickly. I spent a lot of time working on images that I hope will speak for themselves. So I actually don't have a lot to say about the pictures in the book. Look at them and they will speak for themselves, I hope. But I would like to thank Steve and the whole Life Stories community for the privilege that I had to have a modest role in what became a really very important project. Important in many, many ways. many of the people in this room have spent a lot of time writing articles and books about how it was important and why it was important. So I'm not going to presume to talk about that either, really. But I would like to reference something that I don't think has been written about in any of the academic papers about life stories. It's the thing that Lynn just referenced. The fact that the Life Stories Project in Codes is also a matchmaking service. I have one of those Life Stories families. And this little guy is my Exhibit Z. And now in the post-Life Stories days, my wife Lisa is doing a PhD working with issues and themes that came out of her work in the Life Stories Project. And so whether we like it or not, we are living in a post-Life Stories world for a long, long time, I think. And that's okay.
Why did you